Good evening, everybody. If everybody wants to go ahead and take a seat, we'll go ahead and get started. Try to keep everybody on time. We really appreciate you all being here. This is our annual WIAA, just two A's, eligibility meeting. And although it probably won't be the most exciting meeting you've ever been in, it will not be the least exciting meeting either. There's a lot of good information here, and although it's a lot at one time, I definitely encourage you to take it all in, take pictures, and reach out to us as well. It's nice that we're able to gather here. I see people meeting each other for the first time or seeing each other again after being away over the summer, which is really nice. So some of you have been here a couple times, and which is great. It's good to hear the information again, but there is new information this year. There's a couple of new things that the WIAA did, and we wanted to cover that to make sure everybody is well aware. We're also recording this, so if you do have any other questions, or if you have people in your household who missed the information, they will be able to view it. We'll put it up on our athletics YouTube page. So this year, or actually from last year, the athletic department here at USM was awarded the WIAA, I'm going to mess that up all night, I guess, Award of Excellence. And this is a really distinguished award. Only 27 schools out of the 514 member schools in the WIAA were able to achieve this. And so we're really proud of it, and proud of all of you sitting here, because you and our coaches are ones that make this possible. So thank you and congratulations, because it's an incredible, incredible honor. Our program covers a lot. It's very expansive, but it's a very inclusive program as well. We offer 26 sports for boys and girls in the upper school, and as you can see from the slide behind me, that we're competitive year in and year out. And we've had 2 state champion teams and 1 state champion individual just last year, as well as the conference champions and regional and sectional champions. Come on in, guys. Grab a seat. So to introduce our faculty, or our staff here in the office, my name is Tim Williams. I'm the Director of Athletics. I'm over the whole program, both upper school and middle school. But my primary things are the upper school game schedules, as well as the coach hiring and guidance and evaluations, as well as all the external stuff that goes along with being a part of the conferences and the associations that we are in. This is our part of our breakdown. We have 2 rink attendants, Brandon and Eric. We also have Don Forty, Antonio Brito, and Chloe Wilkins. Antonio and Chloe are new this year, but they will continue to staff our fitness center with Coach Forty. So it will be open in the morning before school. In general, about 6:45, 7 o'clock in the morning, and then it'll be open after school for free lifts, but also they take care of all of the team lifts as well. Our athletic trainer is Katie Conley, and she's provided by Mosh. This is her 3rd year with us, so she's pretty familiar to everyone who's been around, and anybody who hasn't had a chance to meet her, any of the students, good. That means you haven't been hurt, but also. Please make sure you get to know her, because she's a great resource to you, even if you're just a little sore, or some nutritional tips, things like that. One other person who's not listed here is Busy Gonring. Busy has been working with us for 4 years now, and she is our sports psychology consultant. She works with our teams, and she also works with our whole program. She's already met with most of the fall teams individually, and she helps to lead our Wildcats Lead performance, peak performance seminar that we had just 2 weeks ago, at the beginning of, about a week and a half ago, last Monday. So she's a great asset, and she's available to individuals and teams throughout the season. Sarah Pearson. Sarah, if you want to raise your hand. Sarah is the person who gets everything done. She's our operations coordinator, and she's the person who gives out the uniforms and the equipment and helps to get all the games set up for the day, as well as making sure the officials are there and all of that type of stuff. She also helps to coordinate the spirit wear, which I'll have a slide later on about, but you probably had an email come to you a week or so ago that allowed you to go onto the website and buy spirit wear for the fall. If you are in this meeting and you have kids that are playing in the winter and spring and you're like, well, where's hockey or where's basketball, where's baseball, lacrosse? It'll come. We do a fall season, we do a winter season, and we do a spring season. So those are on the way. So our next person I'm going to introduce and then let her take a couple slides is Shelly Borison. So I will let her introduce herself to you.
Thank you, Tim. My name is Shelly Borison. I am the athletics office manager. I've been with USM since 2012. And have been in athletics. This will be my 11th school year in athletics. So I've seen a lot of you and a lot of your siblings, and so we've all gotten very familiar. I take care of a lot of different things in the office. You can usually start with me on any question you may have, whether it is eligibility or your bus or an overnight, how do I get a hold of coach, where do I find Mr. Williams. I can usually get you in the right direction. But my main things that I do take care of is we want to make sure that all of the kids are clear. All of our transportation requests, whether it is the overnight stuff, I work with the coaches, and then I take care of our billing and manage our entire budget for the whole department. So I've talked to a lot of you, or you've gotten emails from me, being cleared to participate. There's a few things that we look at every year, and these are WIAA guidelines. We want to make sure that Magnus is complete, and that is all of your pertinent medical information. You'll also need an updated physical. So we're looking for a physical after the date of April 1st of 2024. That will cover you this school year. The last thing that we look at, and we actually separated it this year, for those of you who were here last year, Magnus had all of our acknowledgements, their concussion awareness, your WIA eligibility, and such. And we actually separated it this year into your own individual MyUSM accounts. So students then are responsible for acknowledging these items as well as parents. This gives us the opportunity for those to be housed in separate spots in order for you to acknowledge them individually. Katie, our athletic trainer, also takes care of our concussion testing. We do a baseline test, definitely for all of the high impact sports. Those are done right away, and then we do follow up with all of the rest of the sports. So you do have a baseline. The last thing that we do pay attention to, and this is in conjunction with the upper school, though you guys know that there's 20 service hours by your sophomore year. That does get shared with us. If we do not have 20 hours in by the end of our sophomore year, that is something that will pull your eligibility. Just so you know, I do provide a hard copy of information for all of our coaches. So they will have emergency contact information along with any action plans that your child may have, whether it's allergies, asthma, diabetes, seizures, things like that. That way our coach and any medical staff that is on that particular day and that particular school will have the ability to help your athlete out to the best of their ability. Transportation. So I do work with all of the coaches to make sure that the kids get out of school on time, that they get on their bus, and they get to their event at an appropriate time. A lot of you do pick up the kids from the event. You know, if you are at a basketball game and you want to take your child home with you, that is okay. Please email me and copy coach. We want to make sure that we have a record that your child went with you and they're not on the bus with us. We want to make sure that we know where everyone is at the end of the day. Obviously, we want to get to the event together, so we always travel together. It's also not lost on us that sometimes there is an instance, whether it's a test or sometimes it's a driving test, you know, a driver's exam, or they're getting their braces off. Oh my gosh, my appointment, can I meet there? There's those one-off times where, again, email me, email coach, and we can get that approved for you. That way they're not looking for you on the bus. Overnight travel. There are some sports that naturally experience overnight travel. When that happens, we will have a team meeting. I'm usually there presenting, just kind of making you aware of the things that we'll need in order to have a safe overnight trip. Not only do we collect any information of medication or things like that that the students may be taking outside of school hours, but we also then hold accountable our coaching staff as well, as far as do's and don'ts, how to keep the students safe, to keep them in a paired system, that no one is ever roaming around a hotel by themselves in the middle of the night. So we do have guidelines in place, and like I said, we would have a parent meeting if you are a team that happens to go overnight during your season. The last thing I'm going to talk about, and this is a great opportunity for parents and coaches to get together and really work together. A booster team parent is an integral part of the team. You are there to help prepare, to set aside time to do meals. You're there to help get volunteers and coordinate volunteers for maybe concessions or the gate. We don't get to have a nice, smooth season without your help, okay? So booster team parents are very, very helpful to our coaches. I know that they appreciate you to no end, as well as me. I appreciate you. I work very closely with the team parent to coordinate the banquet and banquet time and maybe dinner space before your team meals. So if that is something that you would like to do, make sure that you get with your athlete's coach and identify yourself as someone who would like to help in that capacity. To keep it in the same vein with boosters, I'd like to introduce here our booster president, Mindy Credu.
Hi, I'm Mindy. I'm the Booster Club president. The Booster Club is a parent organization, all volunteers, that focuses on supporting USM athletics and the athletes. We really focus on positively, like supporting the athletes and team spirit and boosting morale and cheering them on. We also focus on raising funds throughout the year to support the teams and the coaches and the athletes. We raise funds. The coaches can then throughout the year ask for things for their team that they may need throughout the year to improve skills or whatnot, and then they make a request to us, and then we can grant that to them and give it back to them. Space bar. Sorry, it was not up there. Why is it? There we go. Okay. Let's see. So you can join us. The barcode was out there. I don't know, it was up here earlier, so it will be out there later. If you guys want to join us, it's $75 to join for the year. It's in the Tower Weekly as well. So what do you get with a membership? You get immediate entrance to all the games throughout the year, regular season games. It's a digital pass that will be emailed to you, and you can download it right to your iPhone on your wallet. And what do we do? What type of events do we do? Oh, there it is. Does anybody want to take a picture and join right now? If you would like to, take a picture. So what events do? We do the Wildcat Jamboree, which is for middle school. It's the weekend, or the Saturday before homecoming. I believe it's September 27th this year. We have all the, middle school has athletic events, and we invite them all out. We have a dunk tank. We have the teachers in the dunk tank that is a huge hit. We have free popcorn. We have games for the kids. It's a big hit with the middle schoolers. We raise funds, and we do fireworks at homecoming. We also hand out at the homecoming for all the students, fun stuff to boost morale, whether it's pom-poms or sunglasses or necklaces or light up rings, just to get the crowd going. We sell merchandise at concessions. One of the third pieces, the blue Wildcat and Tower third piece in the uniform, is how we get some funds throughout the year. We sell concessions. We do senior posters and team banners throughout the year. And then we organize the team parents. So if anybody's interested in being a team parent, as Shelley said, you can also reach out to the boosters. We help them organize everything and teach them how to do it and whatnot. So last year with all the funds we raised roughly about $22,000. And some of the things that we were, I don't know if that slide's in there. Oh. How do I go back? There it is. Okay, sorry. So what did we give our money to last year? We did, so coaches put in requests for things. We tried to, if a coach puts something in 3 years in a row, we will do it if we can, but we try to spread it out across all the teams. But last year we did a treadmill suspension system for track and cross country. A lot of injuries, so that they can continue to work out, less weight. We did a huddle focus flex camera system for the hockey team, so they can travel with a camera and then they can watch the video after. We did new starting blocks and a carrier for track, because those were getting quite old. A new springboard that we split, and uneven bars that we split with the co-op for the new gymnastic team. A two-man blocking sled for football, lacrosse rage cage, and the ozone machines for the hockey locker rooms to keep them a little cleaner. So the coaches appreciate all this, and from all the funds that we raise throughout the year, we are able to provide a lot of this neat stuff. So please join today. Again, a lot of our funds come from memberships, probably half of it. And if you want to become part of us, we all need volunteers as well. So thank you. Ivan?
Hello everybody, my name is Ivan Guzman. I'm the Assistant Athletic Director and also the Middle School Athletic Director. Coming up on 5 years of being here at USM, and it's been wonderful so far. I'm very happy to be here with all of you today as well. So just a couple of things that I handle: middle school athletics with scheduling, practices, hiring coaches, things of that sort. Also social media content and web content for USM's athletic webpage. So we have, as well as all of our social media pages, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, have a big hand in that. So, and also just dealing with some other smaller portions, just like captains. Anybody looking to run to be captain on their team, usually pop by my office for a captain's packet. Just a little process that we do when choosing captains for each team to make sure they're going through the steps and putting in a little bit of effort to show that they want to be captain for the team. As well as prospective college athletes. So I also work pretty closely with the college guidance office, helping out any students who are looking to potentially make the next step and continue to play athletics in college. So if you have those aspirations, definitely let us know. We want to help you up as much as we can. I believe I talk a little bit more about these later on here. Okay, so moving on to the athletic-related web content. So on MySM, that's going to be a great resource for all of you. Has countless documents and information about us and about athletics. A couple of things such as handbooks, team information, schedules, contact info, as well as links for VIP photos. So that's all going to be in there, and it looks like this. So when you log into MyUSM, if you've never gotten a chance to take a look, log into MyUSM, go over to resources at the top, and then click on athletics. It brings you to this page. As you can see, there's countless of documents listed on there that you might be interested in checking out for yourself and just kind of seeing what those documents are about. But also on the right-hand side, you can see there's a couple of links for schedules, right? Everybody likes to be informed, make sure we know when games and practices are. So those are going to be good places for you to keep on hand and make sure that you're informed as the season moves along. So usm.org/athletics. So this is what it would look like if you would go to this website. On here, there's countless information that you can go from season to season. You can go into all the teams that we have here, check out coaching staffs, schedules, previous awards. It's a really good place to go through and kind of just take a peek around and see what we're all about as a school, as a department, and also just keeping up with your current schedule that you're doing in the sport that you're playing. So if you were to pick on the varsity football team on this website that I just told you about, and you clicked on schedule, this is what it would look like. So it has the game listed when it is. And then as the games go by, results will show up in here as well, just to kind of keep track of how the teams are doing. So great resource to have, something to keep in mind, and also, rosters, coaches, and awards, as we talked about. Okay, MidwestClassicConference.org. This is super important site for us as a department. Everything that we update as the year goes on, new schedules, schedule changes, practice changes, that all shows up on here. I have a little QR code up here if you wanted to scan it and just kind of bookmark it on your phone. It's a great place, great site to have, just so you can pull it up and kind of see, hey, what's going on today, who's playing, maybe you got some free time, you want to come support us, come on out. On the right side as well, let's say you're part of the soccer team this year and you want to make sure that you're not missing anything when it comes to these updates, these schedule changes, practice changes. There's a notify me button right there on the side, just under that little calendar display. If you were to hit that button, it would take you to this. And you can enter in your information. This will automatically update you if there is something that changes on the schedule. Super, super nice tool to have so you can be informed if something were to happen. Nobody wants something to change and you show up to a game that was canceled or something, right? So, okay, social media. As I said before, I handle a lot of the social media, game day posts, results of games, all conference awards, different things like that. So if you see any of that up there, that's me updating that. Give us a follow. If you haven't followed us, give us a follow. Stay in touch with everything going on. So that's just a little bit of what you'll see up there, as well as news articles and other sorts of athletic updates. Okay, so this is a little bit of what I talked about in the first slide for anybody looking to play at the next level in college. So as I mentioned, we work very closely with the College Guidance Department to identify those students, make sure we're kind of keeping in touch, see where they're at in their process. If they haven't started their process, what does that look like? I think a lot of people have questions of, ooh, am I starting a little bit too late? Did I miss the boat? I don't think it's ever too late, but it is important to keep on track. So, if you're a freshman, sophomore, and you are thinking about this, even if you're not 100%, definitely reach out to the College Guidance Department or myself, and we can see if we can give you some guidelines to kind of keep you moving on through your high school career and make this a possibility if you would want to. Also, we have some commitment dates on the calendar. So if you are junior, senior, someone who's committing, definitely let us know. We like to keep track of all those things. And of course, we'd like to recognize you. So we put on a couple of signing events here where we recognize our seniors who are moving on to the next level to go play in college. Those are the dates where so we have an early commitment day, and then of course our main athletics commitment day at the end of the year. It's just kind of the last time that all of our students can be together who are moving on to play at the college level. We like to bring them all together and celebrate them all at once. So let us know. Okay, and then lastly, the SALT team, the Student Athlete Leadership Team. So we do have a SALT team here. You might be wondering, what is SALT? Student athletes, so it's a team of student athletes working together to make athletic experiences for all students here as good as they can be. So they are all members of probably teams that some of you are on. So some of the main things we do is we try to generate exposure for our teams. We pick games of the week and try to hype them up and perhaps coming up with themes, things of that sort as well. We're also big into, especially this year, we're making a bigger push to do more service projects, which is something we would really like to do in order to kind of get our athletic department out there doing good deeds in the community and things of that sort. So how can you be involved? If you want to be involved, come to some games, support your friends, be an active member of the community, and also, as always, be a good representative of USM when you're wearing any of our colors or logos out on the field. And then we have Katie.
Hi everyone, my name is Katie Connolly. I am USM's athletic trainer. It is a new school year, but I do have the same commitment, and that is safeguarding health, preventing injuries, and keeping our student athletes performing. That being said, this is my contact information. It's super easy to shoot me an email if you have any questions, comments, or concerns for your student athlete injury-wise. Kids, if you need to contact me, I am a part of all of your Sports U teams, so please shoot me a message there. I'm contracted through Midwest Orthopedic Specialty Hospital, and through that, I have access to orthopedic doctors right away. So I shoot them a text and they are able to make an appointment the same night or the next day if your student athlete is injured. Our team doctor is Dr. Stone. All right, medical referrals and MD notes. If your child goes to the doctor, please make sure that they bring a note stating if they are restricted with any practices or they're able to return to play. This just makes sure that I can communicate with the coaches to let them know what they are able to and not able to participate in during practice. Even if you're injured, it's still great to make sure that you're still coming to practices and making sure that you're a part of the team. Concussion protocol. Your student athlete should have already completed the concussion baseline testing that we do before our season starts. This is through the SportGate app. And if your student athlete unfortunately sustains a concussion, we will redo that test and I will be in charge of their return to play protocol. We have specific return to play protocols for each sport that I take them through, and this is mandated by my governing body as a healthcare professional and by the WIA. Student athletes, if you have a EpiPen or inhaler, please make sure that you have a conversation with your coach. Your coach should already know who on your team has EpiPens or inhalers, but we want to make sure that in the event that you are, going through any type of medical emergency, that you may need one of these things, that a trusted adult knows where it's at. Thank you.
Okay, so I've got kind of some maybe not so exciting stuff, but very important things about what really is kind of the meat of our presentation here. So the mission of USM Athletics is to really work with the school and provide the school's mission in an athletics extracurricular framework. Teamwork, commitment, sportsmanship, discipline, and leadership is what we're really pushing for, and we're also championing the common trust with what we do. And our goals are really to offer those things in the programs that we provide. And so we do have a no-cut policy here at University School. A no-cut policy, what that means is that we encourage everybody to come out, and we will find a place for you on the team. And we want you to be out there, but it also comes with commitment and responsibility. So, we rarely have this, but I always like to just mention it. No cut doesn't mean that you get to be on the team no matter what. It is still a very big responsibility, and I would encourage anyone and everyone to sit in here so you're interested in sports. But it's a big responsibility. It's a big time commitment. So know what you're getting into when you go into the sport. I think it's a fantastic way to complement what we do in the classroom, and I hope that you do too. That's why you're sitting here. But it is still something that is very valuable and very, like I said, commitment and oriented. So I just want to kind of make that distinction. Our coaches are very highly qualified. I mentioned earlier that we were awarded this Award of Excellence by the WIAA. One of the ways we get to that is through our coaches' education and the coaches that we have pursuing that professional development, and the fact that they're checking up those boxes for us and doing the things that they need to do to stay current in their sports and how they coach and the rules that they know is one of the main reasons why that we are able to get that. So our coaches are very well-rounded and well-educated. So our athletes here, we have all types of athletes, from those who are really aspiring to play Division I athletics to maybe Division II, III, or even at the NAIA level, and those who are just like, hey, I like to play sports with my friends. And all of that is great. All of that is fantastic. And we want to encourage all of that. Those of you that have been around and been part of our teams, you know that kind of mesh is really great, because the kind of camaraderie that you build on your teams, whether you're that hard charging athlete or whether you're the one who just likes to play and don't have any aspirations past high school, those are still some of the best friends that you end up having. And I'm just happy that we have so many people participating. In our upper school, we have over 80% of our upper school who are participating in at least one sport, which is really incredible. And in most places, it's right around 30 or 40%. And so that's how involved and how interested our kids are. So as you can see behind me, we have 26 varsity level sports, and they have multiple levels of competition. Depending on the amount of kids that come out for the team, we sometimes we may only have a varsity team, but in a few sports we have all the way down to a junior varsity 1 and a junior varsity 2 as well. And that's part of the no-cut policy that we have, the encouraging of the participation that we do. We will increase and decrease the amounts of teams that we have so that we can encourage those the participation and get kids out playing sports. So you'll sometimes see our sport offerings expand, and at times you'll see them contract depending on what the kids' interests are. And we do have a few co-op sports that you'll see behind me: the boys and girls swim teams, and then gymnastics and girls hockey, where we're the lead school here at our rink, and then softball. But the swim teams, gymnastics, and softball are all off campus, but the hockey is housed here on campus. Parent communication with coaches. Sports are by design an emotional thing, and you go from elation to deflation all the time. And I would encourage anybody and everybody to make sure you take a deep breath, step back, and think about things before you have communications. Sometimes your communication, it just kind of resolves itself just because of the passage of time. But sometimes you step back, you take that time, you have that 24-hour rule, and you're like, you know what, this is something that definitely needs to be discussed, and reach out to your coach. Our coaches are very, very approachable, and they're very willing to talk to kids, to parents, and whoever, and discuss what's going on. They want what's best for our kids and our programs, and so don't be afraid to talk with them. It is a great dynamic here that I've really not experienced to this level at any other school I've been at, with our coach and our kids, and they have a really great relationship. But with all that said, you parents should expect consistent communication from coaches, and weekly, if not multiple times a week, communication from our coaches, and they will take the lead in team communication, whether it's schedule changes, those types of things, or if it's something that's kind of more of a personal nature. And Ivan did touch on the notify me feature for our the Midwest Classic site, but we have instituted this year the Sports U way of communicating for coaches and teams. So the Sports U, which you see behind me, you'll get it if whatever team you're on, you'll be invited by your coach to sign up, and I would encourage you to do that, because he or she will communicate directly through that, and it really gives a consistent place, especially say if you have kids who play multiple sports. Everything will be on Sports U, it'll just be on a different team, but you will be getting your information that way, and it's a very free way for coaches to communicate back and forth. The calendar and the schedules are on there. I know that's another place where you can get that information, but this is the first year we've started this, but it so far started off very, very well. Coaches, it's almost like a little Facebook page for your that you can chat back and forth for your team, and I think it's really worked well. With that said, all the athletic information is still on usm.org and Midwest Classic, but I think this Sports U is going to be a nice place to find all that you want in just the one place. So our athletic program has a number of different affiliations. I mentioned the WIAA a few times. That's the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Administration. That's the governing body for our state. But we also have conference and league memberships. We're part of the Midwest Classic in most of our sports, but we're also part of the Metro Classic for our football team. The Woodland Conference is where we play our girls golf, as well as their Midwest High School Ski and Conference, which is obviously where we ski. And then we have an Eastern Shores Conference where we play girls hockey. So we have a number of different affiliations. And then we also have the Wisconsin High School Field Hockey Association as well. So, it's a lot of things to kind of juggle, but those are the types of affiliations that we have and are really good members and good standing in. So this is one of the new pieces that was I referenced earlier. The WIA, being our state governing board, last spring passed an NIL policy. And for those of you that don't know, NIL means name, image, and likeness. And this is a big thing in colleges these days, because there's a lot of talk about all the money that some athletes are making. That is very different than what's going on in high school, and it's very different than what's going on in Wisconsin now. The NIL policy that the WIAA passed is pretty narrowly defined, but it does allow a high school student, a student athlete, to benefit monetarily by being paid for the use of their name, image, or likeness. As you can see, there are some things up above, and I would encourage you to take a picture if you'd like, that is kind of the do's and don'ts. But kind of the main thing to remember is if you are a student, you cannot go into an NIL deal with anyone who's affiliated with our school, whether that be a parent, a faculty member, staff member, alumni, booster, a coach who has a business, somebody like that. So that takes a lot out, and then so it has to be done by someone who's non-affiliated with the school, and the school, whether it's our athletic office or anyone involved in the administration, can't facilitate NIL deals for our kids either. So you kind of have to do it on your own. But with that said, if you are considering doing something like this, and we have a few kids that are doing this, I would encourage you to at least give me a call so I can take you through the clearinghouse to make sure that it's not something that's going to violate a rule. Because I think that's very important. I don't think anyone wants to lose eligibility for any reason, and that definitely could be a possibility. So we pledge to continue to educate you all, and later on this week there's going to be a letter going out that has this information as well, so you'll have it there. But you're getting it in person. Whoever hasn't been able to get here tonight will be able to see that information as well. And when it was passed last May, I actually did mail it out, so you may have already kind of be familiar with what I'm talking about here. But I think this last slide that I have on NIL is kind of, I think, what the realities are, and with the way the WIA has written the rule. I think most of the kids who will be doing deals are going to be doing kind of smaller deals. And I think most will be getting kind of in-kind payment with, say a golfer who receives free clubs, or a tennis player who might get free tennis rackets for representing a certain company or something like that. I could be very wrong, but I'm thinking that's kind of in the spirit of the way the WIA has written the rule, but it's going to continue to evolve. So again, I just want to say this before I get off this. If you are considering doing this, just give me a call, send me an email, and let's talk it through to make sure that we can that you're following all the steps. Okay. Back to the Common Trust. We talked about the athletics being an extension of the classroom and of our school mission. The Common Trust of respect and trust, honesty, fairness, and kindness. We try to wrap that up in all of the things that we do, and we ask that of our coaches, of our kids, and of our athletic office staff, as well as everybody who's affiliated with USM. So that goes for the classroom, as well as the field or the court or wherever you're playing, in the locker room, on the bus, on social media, those types of things. So just make sure you're doing all the right thing. And now a couple of fun things. Code of conduct. These are never fun, but these are ways you can lose your eligibility. These are some things that can happen during a school day, whether you do have to be in school to be able to participate. So if for whatever reason you are out of school for the day, you will not be able to participate unless you communicate directly to the upper school office and you have a really good reason for doing that. If it's an excused absence, like you maybe have a college visit day, those are excused and you can participate. But if you're out sick for half or 3/4 of the day, you're not going to be able to come in the afternoon and participate in your game or your practice or that type of thing. There are academic standards that have to be kept up, as well as any kind of substance abuse things. Any of the banned substance will take away your eligibility, and there lists a few of those, or common trust violations that go on throughout the school year. Those could impact you in your eligibility. We work very closely with the class deans and the dean of students and the upper school to make sure that we're in close concert with these types of things. Again, like I talked about, if you have an unexcused absence, you're not going to be able to play that afternoon. And if it's chronic, unexcused absences, then again, that goes back to the responsibility of the team. And if that becomes a problem, then we may have to have a conversation. Academic eligibility. The standard is a 2.0, GPA of 2.0, and no incompletes. So if you are in danger of doing that at the end of the marking period, you are in danger of potentially being sat out for 2 weeks. So we have some stop gaps that are in place, some warnings, and we have asked the upper school academic deans to let us know if anyone is in danger of something like this. And not that we go and change grades, but we do notify parents and the kids that, hey, you need to get that calculus test in, or that assignment, or this paper, those types of things. Most of the time, it's more incompletes than low grades that are holding people out. So we don't want anything to come as a surprise, and very rarely does this happen, but we do send some reminders. So, and then again, what I just said, if you do become academically ineligible, you have to sit out 2 weeks, regardless. And you have to demonstrate that you've made some progress, but you've got that 15 scheduled school days, so actually almost 3 weeks. So that can be a lot of your season. So if that's not a motivation to stay current, then I don't know what is. Detention can take you out if you do, for whatever reason, have some type of violation within the school day, and you have to go to detention after school. You can't come to practice. We will not hold you out of a game, but you will not be able to practice with your team if you have detention that day. So we just stay out of detention, and you don't have to worry about that. But again, with athletics being an extension of the classroom, we want to make sure that we're teaching the right things. Banned substances, I really went through, and I won't go this again, but if you are caught with something, you have at least a 1 day or 1 game suspension through the WIAA, which could be extended by the school depending on the handbook and what the offense is. So, but at the very least, it would be a 1 game suspension. And then game ejections, and these are where we kind of are totally involved in. If you have a game ejection for whatever reason, you get a red card in a soccer game, even for you didn't have your shin guards in, if you got ejected, sorry, you still have to sit out 1 game, mandatory for the WIA. It could, again, be multiple games if it's so egregious that we feel as a school that it needs more addressing from the school as well. So the WIA gives us that leeway. Luckily, we hadn't had to do that, and I don't expect to, but that is there. And also with that, if you are ejected in a game during a tournament series, so say we're starting the regional hockey or the sectional hockey tournament, and you get kicked out in the first period of the first game, you have to sit out the rest of the sectional tournament. That's a pretty big hammer, so we don't want to do that. And sorry for the hockey guys that I just I'm not trying to throw you on the bus. You guys don't do that. So, all right, enough of the bad stuff. Let's end on the good thing. The Flash store, which I referenced earlier, is live right now, and it is live until the 27th at midnight. And again, it is fall centric for sports, but it is also has a generic component, just USM Wildcats or USM Athletics, that you can get any of the things that you might like. But if you are looking for a certain sport that is in a fall or in a winter or a spring sport, you're going to have to wait till those come around. And a lot of times those, the winter sports will have more kind of winter things, but a lot of the things do stick around. And the links usually go out. They go out in August, which in October, November time before the winter starts, and then February, March for the spring for our different seasons. So, just want to thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. We tried to get you out in an hour. We will be hanging out up on the stage area. If you do have any questions, if you have questions that pop up on the way home and you would like to email me, please do so. And we're looking forward to another great athletic school year. Thank you all very much.